to the Crows 3-6-24.
Nathan Bassett to bring it back in, straight down the ground. Number of players there, including Chris Grant. Well read by Stengline. Again, the Crows handling just a little messy. Handball into the ground there, setting Rashudo a task. Now it's with Burton. Looking forward for an option. High kick now. They need a marking player down there. Fitzgerald unable to pick it up. Almost gets it back off the ground, but now Kingsley Hunter far too easily gets it to Liberatore, and the Dogs are away. Kingsley now at half back. Darcy from behind ends up having to thump. Hargraves did well. It's going to carry Kingsley Hunter. Garlick picks it up, goes by hand to Johnson. They're at half forward, the Western Bulldogs. Johnson closing, kicks to the square, carries everywhere, and that's a goal. Brad Johnson with his second. The Western Bulldogs stretch the Crows again. Once again, it was that rebound footy.
The Crows have kicked 3 out of the last 4 goals in this second quarter. In the middle. One out there by Biglands, who's come on in place of Clark. Brown gets onto it. Robbins working hard off half-back. Kick out wide.
Gathering back there now. Welsh set a task. Thumps it the way of Biglands. Steps around. Back to John Cock. He's made an impact since coming on the ground. The short kick finds Perry across half-back. Down the...
Johnson starting to get a bit of the footy, and Stevens as well. So things just tightening up a bit here.
Bulldogs have got 3 in the top 5 there, but just a bit of urgency crept into the Adelaide Crows in the last 10 to 12 minutes as they gain possession on the wing, and they've got it to the danger.
First round clash. Let's go down to Michael Roberts on the boundary.
Yes, as we're right. Chris Grant has gone to the back right now.
Okay.
I think that was Chris Grant to the back line, if you didn't quite get that.
Well done by Simon Goodwin, hands and knees. Now Nathan Bassett, the handball game.
So the Adelaide Crows back in front for the first time since the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Exciting run of goals. Dimatina receives the handball.
Game at this ground. The roof closed. Skill level very high. Rhett Biglands has a run at it, brings it to ground. Kane Johnson been terrific. Climbed high, free kick. They may pay advantage. If they do, Andrew McLeod's got the ball. He's about 60 metres out.
He's got a little bit of an AC joint, collarbone twinge there. They've left him out there to watch how he goes.
Punch away there by Adelaide, right in front of the interchange areas. You can see the players warming up in the background. 55 points apiece. The 22-minute mark of this second quarter. There he is, Gian Siracusa. Ball knocked down at Biglands, beautiful. Another removable ball from a ball-up contest. Rashudo, McLeod, 40 metres. This one won't go home. In fact, it'll be all margin.
Almost pushed out there was Bandy. No free kick. Now it's with McLeod. Steps around inside the 50. Squares it beautifully. Burton in best position. They fly from behind. Well done, Croft.
Free throw in. Doug Hawkins wing, side of the ground. Biglands, West. Just looking for the safety of the boundary line, perhaps missing Gian Siracusa in doing so. And we'll have another boundary throw in. So a 1-point lead for the last 7 goals in a withering burst of football in this second quarter. Darcy, West, Rashudo, they've followed each other all day. Johnson. Get the feeling the Bulldogs would just be happy to see a few over the line.
For Ryan Hargrave as Bassett breaks clear and thumps it into the centre of Colonial Stadium. West tries to get a little clever. Smart ends up with the ball. Now it's with McLeod. He can work something here. Kicks inside the 50, looking for Fitzgerald. Could have been interfered with. He has been tripped from behind. And he will take the free kick.
I'll tell you what we're seeing is that Tony Liberatore has been the bravest of brave players for the Western Bulldogs. Fouled or not, it becomes a big task for him already. He's had his hands on the footy.
Well, that's the way it is at the moment. In the middle, Edwards almost getting a second possession on end. Curses himself there, just off to the right as you saw. Golden opportunity. Darcy, slow to get back to his feet. As we wait for the obligatory second ball up in the middle of the ground. Darcy, Biglands, finished off the quarter so well after replacing Clark. And we'll have another ball up.
Not too many positional changes during the half. Mark Bickley has gone to half forward for the Adelaide. Apart from that, it's pretty much status quo as you were.
McMahon, Harrison and Bartlett the bench there. Biglands, beautiful palm down. Bulldogs have got 3. A desperate West dives on the ball. Soccer off the ground. Dimatina into no man's land. Smart leads over the top. Perry just not the easiest of handballs, so they've found a bit of space and they've broken up the ground to get the loose man. Biglands.
He thumps it to centre half forward. Stevens edged under the footy there by Kingsley Hunter. At ground level, Burton does okay. Throws the handball out to Mark Bickley. He steps around. 55 from goal. Kicks it to the hot spot, or probably just a little beyond the hot spot. Courageous mark taken by Rowan Smith. Terrific mark. And he goes in short and finds Bandy at half back for the Western Bulldogs. A goal apiece to start this second half. Biglands full-chested again at it. Tries to find Simon Goodwin. Now Tyson Edwards is beset upon. Western Bulldogs with the numbers, but it comes out the back to Mark Bickley. Just throws it in the McLeod direction. Doing things like that, also getting plenty of the ball.
Rowan Smith has now lined up on Kane Johnson, who just continually found himself in space in that first half for the Adelaide Crows. So just gives him something to think about now, Johnson, because if he gives Smith too much...
Apologies, Brett Burton. Nigel might have been happy with the mention. Rhett Biglands to the ground. He has been very impressive since coming on the ball. Well done, Liberatore. Terrific work from him. Got it to Robbins. Short kick was fantastic. They bring it away now, the Crows. Biglands has got it in the centre of the ground, and they've got some options. Breaking. One of them is Doughty on the outer side. He's got turf in front of him. Really should find a target. And the kick was a little too strong. Robbins able to do the mopping up. A free kick's been picked out. It's going to go the Dogs' way to Penny.
Gee, young Michael Doughty had Brett Burton on then. He had him loose. All he had to do was find him with a target opportunity.
Penny to relieve now for the Western Bulldogs. Perry, handball back to Doughty. Couldn't reel it in. He's claimed. We'll have a bounce. Right half forward for the Crows.
It's welcome to league footy for the youngster. Just finding out what it's like in the big time. You don't get much time, you don't get much of a chance, and the possessions that you do get, you've got to make work for you. So it'll be a lesson well learned.
Doughty there had a hip problem for most of last year. Umpire Ellis balling up on the half-forward line for the Crows. Biglands. McLeod. Wonderful. Goodwin. 45 metres missed. Left-hand side. Golden opportunity squandered. Response. Darcy. Biglands. McLeod lightning hands. Ordinary kick by Johnson has ended up in the hands of Burton.
Gee, out of the middle. How important is it to win that football out of the middle?
A little untidy as the pressure builds. Pushing the back unseen. Biglands, did he hang on to it for too long? West, his handball didn't find the target. It's Willing at Colonial Stadium. Now it's Rowan Smith. John Cock didn't take possession.
4-goal lead going into three-quarter time would be very, very handy.
You get the feeling the Bulldogs know that they must kick the next goal. A red-hot crack. Bouncing, centre wing, Hawkins wing side of the ground. Perry messed it up. Out wide. Welsh.
Hey, Johnson. But he's doing a good job.
And being one of the Bulldogs' form players so far in the pre-season cup. West. Quick kick into open space. Smart attack. Grant elects to stay back in the goal square, hoping the bounce might have got him and another Bulldog player could get the ball over the top. Didn't eventuate. We'll have a boundary throw in. Right on the forward 50 for the Western Bulldogs. Crowd are into it. We're into it. The umpires and players are certainly into it. A great third quarter of football from both sides. Biglands might have infringed on Darcy, and Darcy will get the free kick. And he can kick the journey from here. For the Bulldogs, looking for a smaller, faster leading option.
Yeah, well, John Cock down there playing out of the goal square wouldn't be too familiar with that position.
Liberatore, standing start, high kick to centre half forward. Hard to mark those on the... So 13-12 plays 10-15. They certainly would not want to see another one here. They thump it back in, though, through the agency of Goodwin, the Crows. Bouncing ball inside the forward 50. Mark Stevens tackled, but he's over the line.
Centres the ball, kick missed its intended target in Bandy. It's a ball in dispute now. Who wants it? Crows got it through hard originally. Edwards pirouetting space. Kick out wide by McLeod is inch
Early on in the piece, I thought Nigel Smart had much the better, but Grant has worked his way back into this game very well.
Bandy gets it to McMahon. He's playing when he didn't have it. No free kick. Play on. Tyson Edwards. The short kick. It's going to work out okay for the Crows. They clear it through Nigel Smart. The man Gary Lyon was talking about. He'll have a bounce. Streaming down the outer side. Checks the kick and did it well. And now McLeod's got it at half forward. Who can go over the top? Rhett Biglands has provided the run. Can play on. Steady. Load up. And missed the lot. No, he's kicked it behind. Shake of the head there from the big man.
He's moving well for a big fellow, and that's the hard running I was speaking about as we see the North Melbourne or the Kangaroos brains trust, that is, all 3 or 4 of them.
They've got the Western Bulldogs next week.
And, well, they'll be taking those hoops with him.
Top 5 possession getters there. You see West and Robbins leading the way, then followed by the 3 Adelaide players of Johnson in front. Handball over the top, Brad Johnson, Jordan McMahon picked it up, West on his favoured left, just sinks the slipper. Now Band.
A very, very good mark. And a nice shot at goal. Bounce is going to favour the Bulldogs. Rhett Biglands had to concede. Now they look like getting a clearance. Well done, Johnson, just bowl-loaded forward. Now they've got to work hard, the Adelaide defence. Rowan Smith ducking and weaving. Now finds a clip.
In inside 50s, has 10 of them. Darcy, Biglands. Edwards in amongst it. Biglands goes for another go. Nelson in amongst there as well. Crows go forward. Bulldogs pretty off. Had a poor season with injury last year. Looking good this year. Matty Robbins has worked tirelessly all day. He's done some great things. He's been
very much an important part of this Bulldogs outfit.
They haven't led since the 19-minute mark of the second term, the Bulldogs. They've got it to 12 points now. Couple of straight kicks, and they're right back at the teeth of it. Mark Bickley.
He just says that they're perhaps tiring a little bit.
Dowdy by hand to Stevens. He can go to the top. Biglands is going to have to go. Wow. McLeod, can he put the icing on it? Kick on the way. Goal! Andrew McLeod, you are a superstar.
7 to 15 the hit-outs, and Biglands had 23 of them.
Back in the middle. Darcy. Johnson there. Got the work in front of them now, the Bulldogs. About 10 minutes left in the game. Johnson will get the free.
The Western Bulldogs are good enough. The question is whether they've got enough in the tank. It has been a blistering afternoon. Simon Goodwin with the centre clearance again. Thumps it forward for the Crows. Ball in dispute. 15 metres, 20 metres out. Shoveling a handball through the... Just over 4 minutes remaining. Adelaide at the moment have it by 19 points. Biglands works it down. McLeod, who in this second half has had his own version of the footy out there. Now the Dogs can get it going forward. Dimitino
all over the top to McMahon. Grant spinning pirouette out trouble and into trouble. Hard football from both sides. Free kick. A little fortunate to go the Bulldogs' way. Dimitino the man to receive.
Have a look at Adelaide, and a great team effort from Adelaide.
Well, the game's over. There's only 20-odd seconds left, but it's still great to watch individual efforts like the one of McLeod then. Syracuse, Robbins. McMahon's impressed since coming on late.
Kick to the left of screen in the opening term. Mott in the ruck for Sydney. Plenty of players around the ball. Bickley gets a first effective disposal. Biglands had the run of it and lost it. Matthews retarded. Takes the free kick. So the first centre... So 2 good young ruckmen. Biglands and Mott go at it again. Neither an effective tap. Chance here for Dowdy. Inside 50 for Adelaide. Fitzgerald against Bennett. Bennett holds his feet. Sweeps the handball out. It's 3-1 to 1-1. The Swans get one back. Biglands won the tap down. Mott at ground level got it out to Creswell. Barry was run down well by Burton. Can Adelaide make them pay? It's Welsh onto the left boot. Spears it inside 50 and hits Fitzgerald.
Goal 1. After the bounce in the middle again. Goodwin just going nowhere. Being held up by Schwass. And the umpire to take a secondary bounce.
And boys, the Crows came out and pretty publicly this week said they wanted to start the game well, get the crowd involved in the
8 for Adelaide. There goes Mott again against Biglands. Biglands got the tap on this occasion. Dowdy over the ball for Adelaide. Gathers. Gives it to Smart. Chip towards half forward, doesn't sit well for Johnson. Maxfield attacked it for Sydney. Goes again, Stuart Maxfield. He spears towards 50, another loose man, it's Doughty. He'll go inside 50, and an unmarked Biglands takes the mark in front of Mott. Sydney in disarray.
It's almost laughable, really. I mean, you get indicators in games of whether teams have come to play or not. We saw Stewie Maxfield lying on the ground before on the wing, not getting up for a second possession or a second contest, and they're far too loose all over the ground.
Sydney have one player in their own half of the ground, that's Barry Hall, so they've got 17 players in the defensive half, and Adelaide can still find men loose inside 50. Here's Biglands. From 40 metres out, it's a tight angle. He started it out to the right-hand side, and it's through for one behind. His first score for the afternoon. Adelaide moved to 7-3-45. Sydney a 1-1-7 at the...
Very handy start as far as Sydney is concerned. Early stages, second quarter. 7-4 plays 2-1. Ball bounced in the middle again, and well done by Adelaide. As the mark is taken by Shell. And the kick came from Bickley. And Shell has taken it strongly on his chest, about 40 metres.
So Adelaide respond, and the margin back out to 39 points. 2 centre clearances, 2 goals. Let's see what happens this time. Biglands wins the tap. Fosdyke in there, as is McLeod for Adelaide. Neither player going anywhere, and the umpire will come in for a secondary bounce. Andrew McLeod, 5 possessions in the opening term for him. McPherson 6, Swass 6, Ben Matthews 5. Biglands wins the tap straight down to Bickley. Trying to clear the congestion. Fosdyke tried to spin out of trouble. Got the kick towards Bennett. Handball was looking for Maxfield, missed its target. Cleaned up by Doughty for Adelaide to Bickley. Biglands. His legs and his brain weren't quite working in sync there, but eventually they got it forward. Inside 50. Goods went up, brought it to ground. Kirk takes it to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in.
Listen, Rodney obviously trying to find the...
He got it to Smart, and the ball went inside 50. A free kick's been plucked from this ruck contest. It's going to Sydney. It'll be taken by Ricky Mott. His 7th possession coming up. Decides to kick to the wing. Smart to ground level. Goodwin dished it out to Bode. Handball. Biglands tried to release Binky. He does now. The kick partly smothered, only as far as McPherson. He just thumps it out. Could come straight back in though. Smart leads in the race for it. It didn't sit for him. Bolton soccers off the ground.
Sydney 3-1. We've played 7.5 minutes of the second quarter. Umpire tossing it in on the wing. This is on the western side. That hand pass was good. It was a quick one, and Bickley got it out wide to Biglands. Inside the 50, but only just almost a mark to that Adelaide player, which was Binky. Not quite now. A chance for Burton, and Burton goes short.
Brockman prepares to come on for his first AFL game in 4 years. Biglands got the tap down, but it was straight down the throat of O'Loughlin towards half forward. Bennett wrestles with Perry. Matthews tries to get it at ground level. Bolton, a clever tap, was good vision. Got it to McPherson, but the handing from his right-hand side, it was Michael O'Loughlin.
Throw in, right half forward for Adelaide. Edwards, and they're over the top of him, and the umpire comes across and will bounce. Adelaide 9-4, and the umpire said there was a bit of holding on, and as a result of all of that, Adelaide will take the free kick. So Biglands about 85 from goal. He'll probably kick from about 70. Here he goes now. Long kick, well inside the 50 to about 25. 2 or 3 up in front. No mark. Here's a chance now for Bode. He misses. He hits the post.
Quarter action at Football Park. Biglands goes up, wins the tap out. The Swans will get first use through McPherson. By hand to Maxfield. O'Loughlin thought about the handball, decides to go himself. Will go inside 50. Well, there, a big handball into space, finds Johnson. Johnson to Biglands, and they take it round the outer side. Out in front of Welsh and Barry. Perry now tracks back with a race of the ball. Shell goes off the ground. Inside the 50, Benke. Opportunity here, tries to step
of the third quarter. Umpire tossing it in, forward of the wing. Hart. Kelly grabbed him, wrapped him up, brought him to the ground, and the umpire to bounce.
So you mentioned just moments ago, they're sort of teasing, they're almost getting some handballs linked, that sort of thing. They're just not quite working for them at the moment. Biglands. Here's a chance for the Swans now. Can they generate something through Maxfield? Bolton fumbles. He's got Perry on his hammer. Sets up Fosdyke. Again, the Crows just...
Adelaide in the first half, but Sydney get the first goal in the third quarter. Opportunity now for Fosdyke. Somehow got a kick out toward the wing, but now Bode just forward of the wing, bangs it down toward left half forward.
Gives you the commitment of the footy club. Burton putting his body on the line with Ryan Fitzgerald.
Adelaide by 45. Biglands put his hand to it first. And they're right over the top. And the umpire with another bounce.
Defensive work to hold the ball in the area.
Throw in. Left forward pocket for Adelaide. Oh, that looked a bit high. And the umpire agrees. And Welsh runs into the open goal and misses.
Matthews to bring it back in for Sydney. Decides to go long. Big pack of players fly from behind. Punch came down inside the 50. Creswell gets it out to Fosdyke. Here's some run. In his 50th game, Nick Fosdyke has a bounce. Spots up O'Loughlin out in front of Stengline. He's got a man running on, it's Kennelly. He hasn't spotted him. Waving the arms around Michael O'Loughlin, telling his men to run into space. He decides to clear it out for Goods. One-on-one with Smart. Ball hits ground level. Here's Bolt.
Coming off. Had his best game for the Crows today. And Stevens back on the ground.
11 and a half minutes gone. McLeod emerges from the ruck contest. 52 metres out from goal. A high kick. Looks all right. He's just missed it to the right-hand side for one behind. So Andrew McLeod 1-1. The side 50s this quarter. 7-5 in favour of Adelaide. But Sydney, as we've seen, a far more efficient forward line in this third term, and that's got a lot to do with the delivery. Goodwin emerges from the centre clearance, goes inside 50. Binky waits at the back. Ball didn't get quite that far. And there's been a free kick. It's gone over the shoulder.
It's for the last 5 or 10 minutes, got themselves back in the game and done extremely well.
Biglands taps it down. Matthews had a chance. Goodwin puts his body on the line, as does Bode for Adelaide. It's a pretty hot ball in there at the moment. Mott. Ball was a big ask for Biglands. A couple of swans there to make his life difficult. The umpire will come in and bounce again. So a similar situation to midway through that second term, and the game's just become a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, and Sydney's on ballers have really tightened up. Matthews on Goodwin's done a good job.
Plays 7-3, 80-45. Adelaide still in front, but Sydney are coming. 35 the margin now. Bickley in space. Now he's got his problem. Got his hand pass over to Welsh. That was clever by Welsh. He was looking for McLeod. Went past him. Here's a big 2 goals for the match, both in the third term. Sydney within 42. Adelaide going into attack. Inside 50, looking for Stevens. Kirk judged it well and then kicks it out very wide. He's got a loose man out there. It's Fosdyke round the box.
Player forward if they can get the ball in there quickly.
42 is the margin, 42 points. Ben Hart heading the wrong way, swings around and then swings it downfield. Burton pushing the back. That's against Burton. He's not happy, but I'm afraid to say, we played 23 minutes third quarter.
So Barry Hall, 7 goals straight last week. Just the 4 touches, 2 marks and 1 goal won this afternoon. Nathan Bassett's done a fantastic job, but in fairness to Barry, it hasn't always come down the way he'd like.
No, I think you're right. Bassett has done a great job. And again, Sydney just breaking down, missing Jason Ball, who does provide that other big target. Just not enough options.
So the bounce down in the outer wing. There's Fosdyke again for Sydney. He's really giving him some bite. There's Bassett, leads Barry Hall to the ball. Dribbles it out towards Dowdy, was clever. And the overlap to Bode. The Shepherd's laid by Johnson. Tries to step around O'Loughlin, he does. And from the 50, just chips short and finds Biglands. Champagne football, Ben Hart. Not a lot of space to work in out there alongside the boundary line, but he kept his poise and did it beautifully.
Yeah, so Benny Hart's got one thing, it's poise. Just showed great balance there. Didn't panic at all. Knew the opponent was there, sold the puck, balanced and just hit his target. The difference between the two teams, Adelaide have hit their targets all day and remained composed. Sydney, on the other hand, have not been able to execute.
So Rhett Biglands, his first goal in season 2002. He's not too excited by it, and that's why he misses to the left-hand side. He's second behind for the afternoon. As we approach the 27-minute mark of this,
Get hold of the footy.
Paul Kelly just 7 possessions this afternoon. He's in the heat of the battle there, as you can see. Edwards gets hands on it for Adelaide. Bolton makes sure he's going nowhere fast, and we'll have yet another bounce.
I think that's the point. You know, Kelly 7 touches, Swass and Creswell only half.
I need some of his magic in this final term. Biglands down to Bickley. Tries to toe poke it out of the congestion. And we'll go again. A tertiary bounce. The Crows, at the moment, poised to go 3 and zip. Their best start to a season since 1996. Biglands got the tap, but it was sharked by McPherson. Gets it off to Creswell. Inside 50 to O'Loughlin. It seems to be a pattern early on in the final term. They managed to just get one of those easy balls inside.
Sydney within 43. O'Loughlin with his second. Ball bounced in the middle again, and the rucks to it. Biglands put his hand to it. Bode in trouble now. Oh, they had Sydney players all around him. That looked a bit high. Umpire said play it on. Now Leo Barry, defensive side of centre. Down toward Kirk territory. A huge crowd. Adelaide winning their first 2. They're looking for 3 on end. Sydney 1 and 1. Just out. Just out. Nick Fosdyke trying to tap it forward and trying to keep it in, but not safe to try and work it away. Sydney, a couple of hand passes, and now Biglands downfield, but only as far as Sydney, and they'll work it away again. Seymour in the thick of it, in towards centre half forward, and Hart clean goal. So this lead now whittled down to 31. And what have we played? We've played almost 10 minutes. Sydney into attack. Once again inside 50. Barry Hall in the thick of it again. Chance for Creswell, gets it out wide to Nix from 50 metres, has a long shot at goal. It's one of them, in fact. That is Fosdyke, and he plays on immediately. So Sydney once again back in the van. This will go back. And it goes back to Mott. And now he goes sideways. Creswell, who has
Opportunity to kick another goal.
13 minutes gone, final term. You can see from Rodney Eade's attitude, he realises they're still in this game if they can just pinch the next 1 or 2 in a hurry. Bode tries to break clear of pressure. Came from Matthews. That's a shift. It's out to 34 points. We've gone 15 and a half minutes in this final term. Biglands tries to put it down McLeod's throat. It comes to Goodwin. High ball inside 50. Big fly from Fitzgerald. Chance here for Goodwin. Back to...
He's kicked 4 for the game. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 a couple of moments ago. Andrew McLeod, Stengline, quickly onto the boot. Oh, wonderful hand pass by Welsh.
Tennis committee.
Friday night football, away we go. Biglands up high. Mercedes hurriedly wide. Burton quick hands away to Johnson. Hand passes still inside the centre square. Biglands again. Rashido back in the action immediately. Feeds it wider still. Bickley, he's been in rare form. Gets it away. This is Johnson. Probing kick inside the 50. Chance for the Crows here. Stevens built the mark. Loose at the back. Johnson dives.
Has finally retrieved it. He throws it in. Biglands over the top. He's got into the back of Hill, and Hill will get the free kick.
Peveril and McLeod, as was anticipated by most, probably the best tagger in the game at the moment against the best player in the game at the minute. So what a contest.
Concerned about the height of Essendon up forward.
Boundary throw in. Biglands. Peveril's got it now. Heffernan on the burst. Down towards half forward. Orchestrating things. He kicks towards the pocket, close to the boundary line. Still a live ball initially. Melbourne tossed in. Biglands works his way in front. Lays it down. In trouble. Johnson upended. Out of bounds.
So the boundary umpire on this for Dockland's side, getting plenty of work so far. Adelaide making the most of their chance from Fitzgerald, who's been in rare form, kicking 4 goals last week. He gets the first against Dustin Fletcher, who did everything right, just missed it by that much, as Maxwell Smart would say. It's a goal to a point. Adelaide by 5 points, back in the centre of the ground.
12 again and some support from the midfield, then they'll go close.
Carousella in there for the Bombers, gets it out. Jason Johnson caught from behind, dropped the ball, was it? No, umpires brought it back, and there'll be a free kick.
A point. Biglands wins it down. Bode fumbled. Not coming out. 7 plays 6. Fitzgerald, the first goal. Barnard, the most recent goal.
See Peveril still in the middle of the ground. McLeod's changed. He's gone to half forward. They're happy.
7 points. Biglands comes racing in. Gets the tap. It was a good one too. Straight down to Bode. Left foot kick forward was a good one. McLeod in game 150 takes the mark. 55 out. Goes short. Rashudo. Just the 15. 4th possession.
Spinning his way through Biglands. Smothered there off the boot. Peveril goes again. Tied up. Ball up alongside the centre circle.
Both these teams in the first 3 games have absolutely blown away, except obviously Essendon last week against Brisbane, but blown away their opposition in the first quarters. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in with the mental dominance at quarter time.
Hill up very early, smashing it down towards half forward was Heffernan. Ricochets across to Mercury. In space, needs a Shepherd, gets it, kicks inside the 50. Bassett comes back. angles the Fisher as a result, though. Not well played by Forster Knight. Biglands did well. Got it across to Johnson. Johnson kicks down towards half forward. Close to the boundary line. The nursing for a kick and getting it is Welsh.
So Welsh, who scored the last goal for the Crows, has it again at half-forward flank. Play on, says the umpire, as you can hear. Thumps it long, looking for big Fitzgerald again. Alessio's there for the Bombers, couldn't hold the mark. At the back of the pack, it's Mercury, twisting and turning. Goes to safety towards the boundary line. Jacobs, handballs to Heffernan, close to... Biglands gets the tap. Rashuda ducks his head, crashes through, kicks a torpedo inside the 50. Out they come. Fitzgerald holding against the Adelaide Crows. That'll come back, and Jacobs will take the free kick for Essendon. Ramanascus.
Third going back. They were on a collision course. The Rucks, well, dominating one time. That time it was Biglands down towards the 50. Juggled in front there by Jacobs. On alternate occasions, it's Hill. He was responsible for the last goal. Rashudo over the...
He goes on to McLeod. He can win plenty of the footy.
Rhett Biglands against Hill. 50-50 that one. Listen to the players calling for it. Tunnel ball there. Now the advantage is paid. This is Bode for the Adelaide Crows.
Biglands from behind this time. Wins it down at the feet of Johnson. Hill got him. Almost a throw. Doughty. Now Rashudo kicks inside the 50. Jacobs goes back with courage and takes the mark.
I'll give you the benefit of that. Once it's gone through two hands, has to be playing.
Wasn't quite as long as I thought, but still, as you say, how long do you have? Mercury gets it out. The kick forward by Forster Knight up towards the goal square. Peverill, Blumfield went to ground. Rashudo for the Crows.
Rucks go at it again. Hill. Biglands got it on the way through. Johnson, Forster Knight, well played. Mercedes spots a man out wide. They're starting to hum now. Mercury shrugs the tackle, steps around Bode, runs down towards the 50. Tossed in. Crows have got to forget about that. Out of defence, the high ball comes from Johnson, just outside the 50, taken by his namesake. Goes across the ground to Carosella. Carosella
in, for want of a better term.
Dane Johnson having a good night, and there he is again, his 9th possession. Tops the list alone now as he kicks the ball out of bounds.
So a throw in as Kevin Sheedy comes down for the quarter-time huddle. Under the 19-minute mark, they have kicked 5 successive goals, the Bombers. Reynolds trying to get it out. Here's McLeod. Runs the ball out of defence for the Adelaide Crows. Puts it out in front of his teammate. More danger coming as Doughty has to concede ground.
Hill beaten by Biglands. McLeod, who's been by his standards pretty quiet. Peverill applies a tackle. Down goes Johnson. 10 possessions for Johnson in the opening term, having a wonderful season. Another ball up. Bounce yet again. Biglands got a hand clear. This is Edwards trying to get clear. Got a long way. Too far, says the umpire. Umpire Sheehan. Yes, Edwards both times, wasn't it?
It's a toss-up.
I think it goes back to your telestrator, Gary, at quarter time. They were told to get a man back there and make him earn it.
Bickley thumps it forward for the Crows. I tell you what they need to earn is a goal here as they all wait for somebody else to do the work. It comes out to Stevens. He finally gets the handball out to Binky. Around the corner, Brian Binky has found that goal.
Tossed in. Biglands and Hurd. Hurd did well. Biglands directed it down, though. Edwards to Johnson. Running out of space, gains about 10 metres around the boundary line. It bounces out.
Gary, Tyson Stenglein is the number 1.
The free kick goes to Biglands.
Go long.
Rashudo. Bassett has run off Lloyd. Takes the mark. To centre wing he goes. Looks up. Binky provides the lead. Needs to mark it and does. Good play, Brian Binky.
The flattest ball they've kicked in there. Forward line when they can, and they all congregate. It was a massive pack still.
Biglands up very high, knocked it down. Rashudo couldn't complete it though. Hurd did well. Peverill drives it down towards the attacking 50. Lloyd, what a mark! That is very strong.
Actually went out for dinner with him then, all right.
Wasn't your cooking, was it?
No. Bit of rough beluga.
Here's the Crows. Bode tries to flick it out. Burton down at half back. Bumps it long and hopes for the best. Fitzgerald gets to the front, sticks up that...
He was moving all right before.
Hill tries to grab it out of the ruck. Bode. Eventually to Edwards.
Oh, bounce it.
Twice has been pinged for going too far. It'll come straight back. Damien Peverill with the ball. Little chip over the top.
Tells a bit of a story.
Hill in front. Biglands from behind. Johnson again. Repeats what we saw moments ago, but Welch's kick this time is wayward, out of bounds on the full.
Nathan Bassett's been relieved of the duties on Matthew Lloyd. Ben Hart's got that job. Bassett out. McCurry probably the odd one out, who's been at half forward for most of the night.
Johnson gets it across. Binky, flying shot. Once again, the Bombers get back in numbers. Peverill does the percentage.
And Johnson both started in the forward line outside the centre square, so their workload just been lessened a bit. They'll probably bob up with a couple of goals.
Bombers by 51 points. They were belted last week by the Brisbane Lions, but they've come here to play tonight. No doubt about that. Mark Johnson sweeping.
Kick over till full time. Alessio getting some late work. Ball bounced away from him. Biglands directed it down. Bode to McLeod. Stengline on the burst down towards right half forward. His centering kick. John Cock again. Way on.
And hats off to Graham McMahon and whoever else made the decision to come here for Essendon. 17 out of 18. It's a happy hunting ground.
Absolutely. Johnson. Interesting hand pass. Effective enough. Carousella. Deep in his own defensive area. Jacob.
Long-term game. There's the inside 50s there for all the top 5 on the ground. And I reckon in an opposition sense, you've got to take him on and head-high tackle him once so he doesn't take you on too much.
Bode is giving a warning, you reckon, Dermot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dishes it off over the head of Carousella. Uncharacteristically, the Bombers have missed a target the last 3 times, but they've still got possession of the ball. Here's Blake Carousella. He runs to 55. He kicks inside again. It misses the target.
Adelaide 1 straight, Port 1 straight. 5.5 minutes gone. And a bright opening of this game, as you'd expect. Back in the middle. French came down to Nick Stevens. Dribbles a kick towards half forward, but it's Goodwin for Adelaide to tidy up. Handball off to Perry. Perry will kick towards half forward. Numbers there for Adelaide, but Port win it at ground level. It's Bishop towards half forward. They'll contest at the 50. It is no contest. Adelaide up, and the mark is taken by Biglands. Spears it inside 50. The lead's on from John Cock. Beautiful kick from Biglands. And John Cock takes the mark on his chest. 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
See, we're going to get some joy out of watching this kid play footy. I mean,
And we've played almost 9 minutes. Stengline went without it. James about to run on. Tried to kick it around the corner. Comes to Adelaide. Now Biglands alongside the centre circle. Kicks inside 50. Looking for Fitzgerald. Can't find him. Second effort needs to be good. It is. Well done to Stevens. Stevens reverse screwy and has kicked well, he's kicked nothing. It's gone across the face. And it's out of
Montgomery. Took it from the ruck contest. Gave a little handball to Schofield. Advantage paid to Port Adelaide. The handball was in hope. Rashudo grabbed it, but he was wrapped up in a tackle by Roger James.
bringing it back, boys. I think just
of times. There's the bounce in the middle again. And Lade wins it. Stengline, well done. Adelaide out of the middle. Goodwin inside the 50. They contest about 45 metres from goal. Here's Welsh accelerating away and then left puts it. It's going to go close. It's off to the right-hand side.
Biglands with the tap. Stengline wrapped up by the Roger James tackle. Players pile in. It's pretty willing in there. We'll have another bounce.
He is one tough nut though, Tyson Stengline. Don't worry about that. That will not hurt him one bit.
Denoni has Nick Stevens. Biglands got the tap down. Sharked by Goodwin. Pumps it inside 50 for Adelaide. Opportunity here for Fitzgerald, but he couldn't pick it up. And Darryl Wakeland takes it towards the boundary line and finds it.
Yes, I think the big fellow is looking
in. Biglands works late under the football. Spills to the back of the contest. Schofield. Handballs in hope. Kane Johnson runs onto it for Adelaide. Handball releases Hart. Spears it inside 50 to an unmarked man. 4 apiece. Biglands versus French. At ground level, it's Stengline. Back towards the line. Doughty takes possession, takes it over and out for yet another throw in. There's Schofield. Franku. Doughty wrapped up in a tackle by Hardwick. And again, the ball finds the boundary line.
in a couple of plays, still not really getting into the contest. Josh Franco's only touched the footy once, as we said before. Mark Rashudo yet to touch the ball. So
he's been just about Port's best player in the last 4 showdown wins. Biglands a beautiful tap down. Adelaide go forward towards the 50, but only as far as Bishop. Tried to tuck it under his arm, but the tackle came from Welsh. Stengline wrapped up. And
Barnaby French outnumbered. They should wrap it up here, Adelaide, and they do. And the captain gets a wide hand pass to Massey. Rashuto to Massey. Massey now. Tyson Edwards about 75 metres from goal. Tight angle, chips inside 50. No mark, couple up. Here's John Cockrell.
Biglands against French. Schofield first onto it. Sockers it off the ground. Chance here for Massey. Tried to paddle it out, but was grabbed by Burgoyne. He dishes to Cockatoo. Collins spears inside 50.
13 the difference. Quarter time is approaching. Goodwin trying to work his way through a very tight area. Out toward Hart now for Adelaide on the wing. That's on the eastern side, and he swings around and he can see the goal. He's about 75 from goal
and a bounce just forward of the wing for Port Adelaide. Sharked by James from the French hit out towards half forward. And the siren sounds for quarter time just as Shane Cockatoo Collins lurks.
No, I won't. Adelaide's free kick. Rhett Biglands. Stengline there in shot as well. Here's Rhett's kick. It's a ground cover. Almost inside 50. Here's Rashuto looking to feed off and does. Couple of hand passes. Burton thought about the hand pass to 43-18. It has been a good start for Adelaide. It was so important for them. That was former skipper to skipper. Rashuto now toward left half forward. Bouncing past most. Mead. Good pressure from...
It's been a real feature of his game this year.
9 goals so far. 4 against Geelong. Biglands. Schofield close to the boundary line. Didn't have a lot of options. He'd be pretty pleased with that result as well.
Adelaide Footy Club tonight.
Ruck clearance is 18-13 in favour of the Crows. Goodwin crashes through. Gets onto his favourite left boot. A high kick towards the forward pocket. Chance here for James for Port Adelaide. He's got 3 to... French against Biglands. Kingsley got hands on it but couldn't dispose of it. Montgomery only as far as Doughty. Emerges through the pack. Kicks towards half forward. Mead works back towards the football. The ruck contest. Goodwin. Handball only as far as Franco. Had it and lost it. Rashuto. Game tackled. And yet another bounce. Adelaide have managed to keep it pretty...
They haven't handled the ball at all well tonight, Port.
So yet another bounce. Biglands timed his lead beautifully. Got it to Goodwin. To Johnson. He releases Welsh, who runs to 15 metres out directly in front. He's trying to tell the goal umpire it was a goal.
Umpire bouncing in the middle of Football Park. Oh, over the shoulder. Over the shoulder. Brett Montgomery will take the free kick. He's taking a while to get up, Chris. French and Biglands. French on his backside. Biglands keeps his footing. Kicks out very wide. Hardwick, the 2-11s. And Doughty. Hardwick. Doughty falls. And Hardwick swings it back out. Guerra was the man, but in the end, Bishop came over and said, I'm okay.
So throw in, a margin, 17 points in favour of Adelaide. Hardwick emerges. Advantage paid to Port. Schofield, they're starting to run the lines. This is what we said they needed.
Umpire Richard Fox has the ball. He's going to throw it up, and that'll be the situation all day. There they go. Biglands did get the first tap out there, and there's going to be something that's going to happen. A free kick was held on to. The ball is slippery. The bodies are diving all over. It's going to be like this all day. Jackson, clever, big man, wearing a helmet today, as he usually does. Goes long to the outer side. Up to a contest. Biglands up strongly. Couldn't hold the mark, but his second effort was tremendous. Fruin, he's wrapped up. Almost to himself now. Earl puts a fortuitous kick up high in the air. There's going to be a high fly in the centre. Oh. Biglands couldn't take it, but he got up high. Now it's Johnson from...
It'd be very handy today.
As we find Big Fruin there from centre half back. Got his foot to the ball, did it pretty well too. Got it across there to a teammate. Down towards centre half forward. Here's a chance now for the Eagles. They almost get into the 50-metre zone.
South Adelaide leading by 1 point. Ball's thrown in. Jackson with his big body takes front position. The Eagles player in Colville, he'll kick the ball. He'll just probably decipher who's going to be the team to play in front and do the hard yards early on.
Young Joshua King looks a likely type. He's a fairly solidly built lad out there. Centre half forward for the Eagles. Only his 3rd match. He's already kicked 5 goals with them in his...
Picked the ball up cleanly, as we saw Mills running through the centre there before.
Ball back in. Jackson will make it contest. He's done. Biglands jumps over the top. He's done all day. Manhood wraps up his pillar. Sickletters couldn't get his foot to the ball. The players have tackled up now. Eagles trying to move the ball back as a South Lake trying to keep the ball.
No.
They're pretty lovely people, Doug.
No, I'm sure they are. But Joshua King has kicked the entire score now for the Eagles. 1 goal, 1. And, yeah, he does look a likely type there at centre half forward. The ball back in the centre of the ground now. May have found his niche down there in that defensive pocket.
Damien Klein was very good last week, and I suppose it's a match-up thing where Rovers rest in the forward pocket and you put someone like that, and where Sanson shows some speed, but he's harassed. Sikalella, he'll get the ball. He's tackled by Jackson.
And late in the second quarter, Essendon are thumping St Kilda by 71 points. Back to Doug and the boys.
And back at Norlung position for the Eagles, and that's Sikalella. As he heard the crowd are saying, go Sikalella, and Biglands. He's an experienced campaigner in the SANFL now, and has drifted forward. Now he's got the ball. He'll kick from 50. Now, I would say 50 metres is not a problem in distance regards. So down, distance won't be a problem. He's launched. It's a beautiful kick off the boot. The umpire has not moved at the south pole end, and that's a great response by the Eagles. And on the Mr. Clip...
Very, very well there, but they're changing it centre half forward, the South Rucks. There's the ball up there. It's Brogan who gets the tap out this time. And South Adelaide will try and go forward.
Jackson Crab's been tagged or been mashed up by Shirley, so that should be a great match-up. Now marches it off to the young Skipworth. He puts the ball up high in the 50. Biglands, he couldn't take it. Ormond's wrapped up. Eagles, they put some pressure, but they can't find some ball back to McClure. There's Eagles players loose. One of those is Biglands. He's going to fly up. He couldn't take the mark. Ball comes down the front. Manuel's there. Now there's whoever's there. 50 players around the ball at the moment, Doug.
Yep. There's the throw up there. It's Brogan who gets the tap out. A hand pass came out there from the South Adelaide player there in
short kick up. He really has to just pump it in long and give the big forwards a chance.
So the ball's thrown in. Biglands takes front position. We're just in front of the Charles King grandstand.
Position, a fraction toward the attacking zone of South. And the big fellows doing battle. This is going to be fantastic today. Biglands and Brogan. As the Eagles make the changes, young Mackenzie is on the ground. Skipworth is off. The Eagles bring the ball out now. There's Mackenzie it is, who leaps high. Couldn't take the mark, though, on this occasion. Sikalella, who's been to put the ball up in the air again for the big fellows to do battle.
So Biglands clearly wins a tap. The ball's on centre wing, grandstand side. The Eagles through Colville. Now Darzan has cops one high. And the umpire's in that. Jackson Crabby couldn't take the ball cleanly. Biglands comes back and takes a clever one-handed mark on the centre wing position.
Colville's clear in the centre here.
In comes Biglands now, and he's actually... it sounds like the players are listening to Heath. I think they're mic'd to you, or they've got...
Colville in the centre. Whoever's standing Gavin Colville, you can't let him roam free in the centre because he'll make some damage.
Exactly, he'll hurt you with the ball every time.
And there he is once again.
You'll find Jackson Crab running with Gavin Colville, and I think you'll find that Brennan's going to just try and hit the ruckman hard. He's going to hit Biglands hard, and he just wanted to...
Though by that margin of 3 behind, Mark Rasciuto's 200th game. But here he is again, Julian Burton.
And we have another throw-in, Doug, on the far side, the half-footed flank of Brennan Jackson, the ex-Sturt player. But Greg Anderson's shown some faith in young Jackson because he's kept Dean Brogan at centre-half forward.
Yeah, exactly. He's very important, especially if Dean Brogan can stay at half-forward. And in fact,
Greg Anderson's put into place this quarter.
Well, I guess they think that they're going against the breeze this quarter and they want to hold it up a bit.
The breeze has actually sprung up just that little bit too as I look at the windsocks into attack. And he comes. It's not a bad sort of a roost either. Up they go. Jackson, I thought, got a push in the back, or at least he tried to let the umpire see that, and the ball is going to be rushed through.
The outer side, like Stephen Hall did consistently in the first quarter. Beautiful kick. Biglands comes over the top. Couldn't take the mark. Now South Adelaide through. Johnson pushed the ball up to the centre wing.
At quarter time or not, but that ball looked to have travelled 45, 50 metres, and if that was with a wet ball, that was a great kick.
Magnificent kicker. Hand pass comes back to Sikalella, who in turn would flank the Eagles in attack.
So Jackson will battle with Biglands, as they will do all day. They lock arms. Biglands wins a tap, taps it towards South. Sicklella's got his body over. As Muffy's got strapping all over his shoulders. He's had a few shoulder problems. But the ball's back in centre. Brogan's into the ruck. Jackson's gone to centre half forward. Jeffries attacks the ball hard, and that young Muffy.
3 kilos or thereabouts. There's not much to him. 65 kilos. So he's put on a little bit.
Anderson's looking for a bit of a change in the ruck contest by putting Jackson at centre half forward. Brogan's his number one guy. Maybe he thinks he needs the change.
Yep. Brogan really needs to get involved in this game now if South have any chance. Their own 50 metre. They really need to pump it in long and give someone a chance to take a catch or crumb a goal.
Fair comment from Heath as there's the throw-in, and again the umpire.
Pedler, the 2001 best first-year player of the Eagles last year. Bigland uses his strength. Ball comes over the top. Clonan got his kick to it. Player and steals, push 14-point lead, be worth like 5 or 6 goal in these conditions, isn't it?
Definitely.
South Adelaide drive the ball forward. It's a big kick too. Up goes Biglands. Couldn't quite take it there. The backdrop of the toilets on the outer side of the ground.
Major for their side. The ball's thrown in. Noarlunga Oval, wet, windy conditions. Eagles Damasi.
But it's the Eagles 4-6-30, leading South Adelaide 2-7-19. 11 points the margin. We've just started now in the second half. The ball now away from the centre. The Eagles slightly in attack.
And it's very important that South Adelaide get the first score on the board. So Gavin Colville pushes his team up from the forward 50. Players in front was
He's way into this game today.
Especially if he played up forward, because he's that quick, deceptively player that can just get away from his opponent well. So big Brendan Jackson couldn't put feet to ball. Mills, with some courage, put his body over the ball. And the ball spills out the back. There was King. Now the Eagles through. That surely goes one way, the other way. Bends the ball high. This will land about 30.
Forward pocket now. The Eagles in attack. Leading by 13 points. The Mr. Clip match of the day. Taken here by big Brennan Jackson. He's impressed today too. His kick there was smothered on this occasion. Picked up by
They've kicked 7 goals to Essendon's 2 in the last quarter, but it's all over because Essendon are still 81 points up.
So the Saints leaving it to the...
Another there by Manhood. Now Johnson shows some strength but can't take the ball with him, but he kicks the ball off the ground. It's wet, it's slippery. Now it's on for pace.
Quarter. Little passage of play there. Nothing really came out of it. And there's a throw in deep down in the pocket. Julian Burton's decided to stand up. Julian, she's all yours now.
Very cold, and both need to find Chapman. Chapman pushes the ball up. Biglands comes from the side. Good spoil by Jackson. That was Brogan's throw.
Ground, but for that reason, I suppose, because that's the way the wind is blowing across the ground. We can see the windsock here, and it is a bit of a cross breeze. The lights are on. I reckon that was a goal this time. Also, Eagle Star at the helm there for the Eagles. So it's 4-8 to the Eagles, 32, 13-point mark.
Good old kick in the shin then, and he is still sort of limping around, but seems to be staying on the field, so he'll be okay.
And it would hurt twice as much in these conditions today. So Colville feeds the ball back around quarter. Chapman puts the ball high to the front of the square. Up goes 1-2. Is that a mark? I think
He's played it.
And I think that's Rhett Biglands. So the umpire has...
Biglands run to the space and took a great mark in these conditions.
In comes Biglands, and he's put that one through. And the spectator at the sewn up. I can't see South coming back and kicking 5 goals from here on. There's the throw. They need 6 actually to win the match. There's the kick off the ground again by the Eagles this time.
So certainly I would think so. But again, Heath Hopgood thinks South Adelaide can't win. Maybe they can. Who knows? Jackson pushes the ball towards his player in.
So now got dropping players back into the hole as well into their defence. So it's going to make it very difficult for South now.
Here's the throw in a big pack of players around the ball.
19 points. Ball's bounced down. Brogan taps the ball forward, but he's outbeaten by Biglands. He's found Sikalella. Darzanos. He couldn't.
Mr. Clip match of the day. We're still keeping an eye out for any of these freakish marks. It would be a freakish one to get the Paradise Community Church mark of the... but he's certainly still staying out there as we find it is McClure comes out of defence there for the Eagles. Little Cloden it was who went up high there.
Very for a lead. Wiggly, he goes long, just clears the 50. Biglands takes a strong mark. And the tall timber of the Eagles are starting to stand too in the last quarter. Down to Noarlunga. He goes to the top. Push the ball up, McGregor. Another tall player of the Eagles. So we've got through.
Late in attack.
Great attack on the body by Andrew Crowell. Biglands couldn't take it. Mills high, up and under kick. Players got to commit to the ball. And the board. Kearney up versus Biglands. Ball spills over the back. Rigney could have taken the peddler. He's been good in the last quarter. He's wrapped up by that player. Rigney now crap.
From us too. I hope she's not hearing anything that Julian's saying. Here comes, she's having a bit of a laugh.
Biglands, great mark.
Biglands, that is a great mark. That's a contender for the Paradise Community Church mark of the day. It was sort of a one-hander, that one.
It was.
And it was a beauty. And big Rhett Biglands having some sort of an influence on the game in the dying minutes here. We've played 20 minutes of the final quarter.